Hello friends, how are you? This is Dr. Nagi, Ayurveda and Medicine Doctor and also Isha Hatha Yoga teacher. So today in this video we are going to talk about, can I skip my breakfast? Because whenever I get up in the morning I feel hungry. This was a question, and whether I can skip that breakfast, and if I skip that breakfast, doesn't it go bad for the body, because my generations are eating breakfast at 7 o'clock and I can't miss this breakfast. There is a trend in our family, so whether we should eat or we should not eat. The answer is like this: if you are into meditations, if you are into yoga and you are doing in the morning yoga, so a lot of energy is produced naturally with yoga practices, especially asanas, meditations. So you are generating your own energy. So in these cases, if you want to skip breakfast, you can skip, because body doesn't need much food if you are doing yoga practices. And which yoga practices? I have experience with Isha yoga practices. So need of food goes very down if you are doing these practices, and it is experience of many people. So one of the answer is this, because it's very important, because yoga will work for you only if it comes from the right source, and there are various institutions which are very profound and they are teaching yoga. I can share only my experience because I learnt from Isha yoga. But if you know some others, you can do that also. You can do that also, but make sure the yoga should come from the right source. That's very important. So if you are doing morning practices and you don't feel like eating, you can skip this 7 o'clock meal. But yes, by 10 or 11 you need to take full meals, because if you are going to live in yoga lifestyle or Ayurveda lifestyle, they recommend always like morning meals and evening meals. And believe me, if you are taking normal meals, you don't feel hungry afternoons. And if you are cooking in a traditional way, if you are eating in a traditional way, what Ayurveda has prescribed, you don't feel hungry afternoons. You don't feel like there is some hunger or something. And if your work is not very exhausting, for example, if somebody has work in which he is pulling a lot of weights, or he is pulling bags, or his work is very hard work, not only mental work but hard work, in which he has to put a lot of physical effort. So if you are doing this kind of work, definitely you need to have 3 meals a day, like morning breakfast, lunch and dinner. But if you are not doing any very physical, difficult hard work during the day, just the mental work you are doing, and your whole job is sitting, then you can skip your lunch. But make sure when you are trying to skip lunch, you should have good amount of brunch, like in the morning, breakfast come lunch, that is called brunch. So you should have enough fruits in your diet, and you should have freshly cooked meals. If you have taken this kind of food, then you can skip your lunch and you can have 2 meals during the day. And in one more case, you can skip your breakfast, that is if you are awake whole night. Like for some reasons, if you kept yourself awake whole night and you couldn't sleep, in these cases digestive fire goes very low. So you can skip your breakfast and have a nap for some hours, and after that you can have directly your lunch at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock. And if you have eaten your dinner very late at night, like for some reason you have eaten at 10 and you have taken heavy meals, and definitely if this kind of heavy meals you have taken at 10 o'clock, your food will not be digested whenever you get up at 7 or 8 o'clock and you feel burps and you don't feel like eating, but there is a trend like you have to have breakfast. In these cases, please skip your breakfast, because according to Ayurveda, you should not take any food in your stomach unless your previous food has been digested. Because if you take food when your previous food has not been digested, one thing, it will lower down your digestive fire, and when digestive fire is low, that means food cannot be digested properly, and it will produce undigested food, which is responsible for various kind of toxins in the system. and also it will invite various kind of chronic ailments. That's why in Ayurveda and yoga a lot of importance has been given in 2 times meals. But in winter countries where temperature is extreme low, like in minus, and you have to go out, you need to work outside, you can have 3 meals per day, because you are spending a lot of energy in cold weather where there is a lot of consumption of energy even if you want to lift something or do something. That's why you must have seen, if you go with the old traditional cultures of Western countries, they sometimes take 4 meals per day, because a lot of strength is needed. Earlier, if you want to go out and work in winter in search of mushrooms or in search of certain fruits, so it is very important, like in cold countries or in cold weather, if you are not sitting all the time warm in the home and your work is like this, like you have to manage traffic or you need to go something out in cold, it is better that you have your all 3 complete meals. Also, there is one additional fact, a lot of importance has been given in Ayurveda to have fruits and cooked food in the morning, because according to Ayurveda, as sun rise, our digestive fire also rises within us. As you know, in Ayurveda there is a lot of connection between sun and digestive fire, that is called Jatragni in Ayurveda. So it becomes very important, like as sun rises in the nature, our digestive fire is also becoming more and more. So it is the max at 12 o'clock. It is very important that before 12 you finish your food, so that when digestive fire will be very high, your stomach will have food, otherwise it will start eating your tissues or dhatus, if you go with the Ayurveda principle. So this also makes a very important point about morning breakfast, morning food, because if you go with this concept of Ayurveda, food becomes extremely important. At the same time, for diabetic people, whether they can do this protocol or no, for diabetic people, please always follow your doctor's advice, because it is not only diabetes one word. For diabetes, as you know, healthy lifestyle is needed, proper medicine is needed, but at the same time lifestyle modification will help. But that does not mean, because different diabetic people have different sugar levels. It is not like if somebody is borderline, he can adopt lifestyle changes. Even high sugar level also need to adopt little lifestyle changes like exercise, walk. These are very important things, and avoiding all the sugary things and trans fats. But it becomes also very important, like you need to see, you cannot say just diabetic and then start giving recommendation to all. Some person's diabetes may be very high and he is directly on insulin. For these kind of patients, there are different kind of instructions. For borderline people, there are different kind of instructions. So for people who are well maintained with diabetes, for them different kind of instructions. So it is not for diabetes, you cannot put a whole diabetic patients under one word and this lifestyle you need to do. It depends from person to person, but those people who don't have diabetes and who have these questions like whether to eat breakfast, not to eat breakfast, I try to answer those questions so that they will get little help and it's easy for them to decide what to do, whether to eat, whether not to eat. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you will like this video, and if you like this video, please don't forget to like and share with your family and friends so that they will also get benefited. Also, if you are watching me for the first time, you can subscribe us. There is a subscription button, there is a bell icon. You can hit the bell icon and click the subscription button so that you stay in tune with our upcoming videos. Also, if you like to support us, there is a join button near subscription button. You can always click this join button and you can support us. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. And if you have any questions, please write down those questions. I will try to make some video about it, or I will try to answer your questions in the best possible way. And with this note, I would like to say stay healthy, stay blessed, take care, and don't forget to share. Bye.